Hi there, my name is Barry Naroff, and I'm going to close my eyes for a minute, and you'll have a channeling on a subject that's determined by that which comes through me. And then at the end, I'll tell you a little bit more about myself, how to contact me, things like that. But first, I will close my eyes and we'll see what comes through. Hello, greetings. In the light and love of the Creator, we welcome you. Today, we're going to talk about the fragility of the soul. But first, we have to explain what on earth we're talking about. The soul has a purpose, an agenda. There are certain things that the soul wishes to accomplish in any particular incarnation. And it doesn't mind some deviations, but ultimately, what it wants to achieve, it wants to achieve. Things that a person does in their life not relating to the soul's urges are like free passes. And people are given a lot of free passes. But the problem occurs when people use their ego, their thinking mind, to go in opposition to what the soul wants. Now, let me give you an example. If the soul has chosen to incarnate, this would be a life lesson, karmic lesson, something that was decided with the birth guides before you're born, but the soul wants you to learn the lesson of kindness, of sharing, of being open, of being soft. And the ego, because of life circumstances, decides that it's going to be very withholding, very cold, very distant. Well, that often is given as a challenge, so that the more one has to overcome, generally the deeper the lesson is that is learned. But sometimes people just don't want to deal with the lesson. They carry deeply embedded anger or fear or sadness, and they feel they have a right to have it. And from a logical perspective, yes, they do. But it's not helping them. It goes against the reason they were given these patterns in the first place, which is to help them to really choose to release it and to step into this pattern of kindness, openness, growth. So, in this sense, the soul is sort of fragile because it has this agenda which the ego can either choose to go along with and to work towards and help bring to fulfillment, or can go in opposition to through its own choices and experiences. And a lot of people have that. When the soul is in opposition to the choices of the ego wants to do things that the soul says either are not growth promoting or irrelevant. A lot of times the choices the ego makes ultimately blows up in their faces. They spend 20 years accumulating money. They just invest, buy things, save, and then they lose it all. And what does it do? The person doesn't learn their lesson, or what happens even more commonly is they don't lose it all. They have it. And then as they come toward the end of their life, when the period of reflection sets in, as it does for so many people, they look back and they say, okay, I made X amount of dollars. I'm rich. I can't take it with me. It's not going to buy me any more health. And what have I really done with my life other than accumulate money? This is just an example. A lot of people have other types of reflections and ultimately regrets. But that's only if their path is in opposition to what the soul wants to learn. Also, if the ego is adamant, and I mean adamant, against what the soul wishes, sometimes the soul decides, okay, there's no point. This incarnation is going to hell. The individual is not going to learn the lessons and has no intentions of learning the lessons. Let's terminate. And that's when a person either develops a terminal illness that cannot be cured or gets into an accident and dies. If it's just a wake-up call, which a lot of people get, they develop a potentially terminal illness that gets cured. And then if the people change and go and start fulfilling the destiny of the soul, they go into permanent remission. On the other hand, if they go back to their old ways, and even if the doctors can cure them, it will come back, and usually in a more insidious form. So it's really important to listen. How on earth do you know what the soul's urgings are? You have to be quiet and learn to listen to yourself. Everybody knows they have a quiet inner urge that says, this is really what I want to do with my life. Not what I'm doing. I really don't want to enter data or check off forms or just run a train. I want to be and that's in a sense the soul's urging. Sometimes it's not career related, it's just the way of being. I want to be a loving husband, not a bastard that comes home and yells at his wife because of frustration, because of the job, etc. I want to be caring, I want to be open, I want to love my kids and nurture and hug them and make them feel wonderful. Why can't I do that? Well, sit quietly and take a look. Sometimes people can do this on their own. Many times they need outside help. A pastor, a counselor, a therapist. These are all people that sometimes can be very, very helpful on one's own inner journey. But back to the normal introductory thesis, the fragility of the soul. The soul really, once it comes into the body, it has an agenda, but all it does is hold on to the agenda. And then it's up to the incarnate individual to see whether they're going to fulfill the soul's agenda or live in opposition to it. The soul can do nothing other than occasionally bring circumstances to help the individual to wake up. And if the individual doesn't wake up, the soul can terminate the incarnation and figure, okay, maybe in the next life. I hope this was interesting. Okay, I shall depart. All right, I'm back. So my name is Barry Naroff. I'm a spiritual intuitive. I do readings just on a person's first name. You find out about life lessons, karmic patterns, major dynamics of the life, whatever is significant for you. Also, I'm a New York State licensed psychotherapist, so I do regular psychotherapy. Well, I wouldn't say regular. I channel my sessions, but I've had extensive training in therapy. And I do individuals, couples. I take insurance if you have it, only out of network. I'm not in network, but if you've met your deductible, your insurance will certainly go toward the process. And if you want to contact me, questions, comments, things like that, I have an email address, barry@birthrightTherapy.com. If you want to read up more about me, I have a webpage, Birthright Therapy, or just under this video, if you're seeing it on YouTube, there's a comment section. Feel free to make a comment, and questions, requests, anything like that. I'd love to hear from you. If you find interesting what you're hearing, please do subscribe. It helps me with the YouTube algorithm, sort of pushes my videos up more and more toward the top, so people find out that I'm posting videos. And if you like what you hear, there's a little bell next to the subscribe. Click on that, and you'll be notified when the next posting comes up. So, thank you very much, and until the next time.